Good morning, students. Good morning, students. That we were doing this lesson number 12. That is simple machine. हम लेसन 12 कर रहे थे सिंपल मशीन. इसमें मैंने आपको बैक एक्सरसाइज कराया था, शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन भी मैंने कराए थे. बट टुडे अगेन दैट आई विल गो फॉर दिस शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर्स. डिटेल में बात करेंगे आपसे शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर्स के बारे में. एंड आफ्टर दैट दैट यू माइट हैव रिसीव्ड द पीडीएफ आल्सो. If not, that today you will receive that one also. So short questions करेंगे. After that, time permits, then we'll start with the long questions also. So student, your first question is, what are simple machines? Page number 147 of your book. Page number 147 of your book. That is on D part, short answer questions. First question is, what are simple machines? Please note down. What are simple machines? Your first question is, what are simple machines? The answer for this question is, simple machines are simple tools. Simple machines are simple tools which help do work easy. Simple machines, they are the simple tools which make our work easy, and it saves the time also. There are two factors. One is to make the work easy. Second one is to save the time. If we are using the simple machines, they are the simple tools and which make our work easy, and we can save the time also. Correct, students? This is the definition of, this is the answer of your question number 1. What are simple machines? Answers: simple machines are simple tools which help. Simple machines are simple tools which help us to do work easy. Which help us to do work easy. They are called the simple machines. Correct? Question number 2. Question number 2. What is pulley? Please write down. Question number 2. What is pulley? Name its two types. First, pulley. What is pulley? And name its two types. Name two types of pulleys. This is the question. Answer for this is, a pulley is a grooved. A pulley is a grooved wheel. A pulley is a grooved wheel with a chain or the belt. A pulley is a grooved wheel. Please write down. A pulley is a grooved wheel. A pulley is a grooved wheel with chain or belt. With chain or belt running around it. And there are two types of pulley, students. Number 1 is a fixed pulley. Second one is a movable pulley. Fixed pulley and second one is a movable pulley. These are the two types of pulley, students. Fixed pulley and number 2, movable pulley. Is it clear, students? Now we'll go for the question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3. How many inclined planes make a wedge? How many inclined planes make a wedge? And what are its uses? Also? Now, students, answer for this is, a wedge is made up joining two inclined planes. A wedge is made up of joining two inclined planes back to back. Full stop. Again, I'll read it out. A wedge is made up of joining two inclined planes back to back. It is used for cutting. It is used for cutting and splitting. It is used for cutting and splitting. Question number 4. We'll go for the question number 4. What do you understand? What do you understand? What do you understand by wheel and axle? What do you understand? What do you understand? What do you understand by wheel and axle? The wheel and the axle is a. The wheel and axle is a. Please write down. The wheel and axle is a simple machine. The wheel and axle is a simple machine made of a large wheel. Made of a large wheel. Rigidly made of a large wheel. Rigidly attached to a rod. Rigidly attached to a rod. ठीक है? Rigidly attached to a rod. Or smaller wheel called axle. Or smaller wheel called axle. We'll stop. It moves and carries loads. It moves and carries loads with less effort. It moves and carries loads with less effort. Question number 5. Define fulcrum, load and effort. Question number 5 of your short question answers. That is the define fulcrum, load, effort. Define fulcrum, load and effort. Now first is a fulcrum. Fulcrum क्या होता है students? We'll go for the fulcrum. Fulcrum क्या है? ठीक है? Fulcrum students क्या है? Fulcrum क्या है? It is a fixed part. It is a fixed part. देखो जो fixed part है, fulcrum है, याद रखने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स, fulcrum की स्पेलिंग F से स्टार्ट है, तो क्या हो गया? याद रखने के लिए बता रहा हूं मैं आपको टिप्स. Then it is a fixed fulcrum spelling starting with the F, then it is a fixed part. Remember always. It is a fixed part of a lever. It is a fixed part of a lever that does not move. That does not move. That does not move. Clear है? Yes, student. Fixed part that does not move. Load, it is the object. Load, it is the object that is to be lifted. Load, it is the object. Load, what is load? It is the object. It is the object that is to be lifted. Load, it is the object. It is the object that is to be lifted. That is to be lifted or moved. That is to be lifted or moved. Now effort, it is the force. Effort means it is the force. It is the force that is applied. Effort means it is the force. It is the force that is applied on one. It is the force that is applied on one end of the rod, which is applied on the one end of the rod to move or lift the load. To move or lift that load, it is called the effort. So students, fulcrum that we have studied, it is a fixed part of a lever. The fixed part of the lever that does not move called fulcrum. And load, it is the object. Load, it is the object that is to be lifted. It is the object that is to be lifted or moved. And effort, it is the force that is applied. It is the force. Effort means it is the force. It is the force that is applied on end of the road. On end of the road to move or lift. To move or lift us of short questions. Is it clear, students? Now, further we'll go for this long question answers. One or two today we will have the long question answer because still the time is there. So we'll go for this long question answers also. Is it clear, students? First note down. Yes, students. Now we'll go for this long question answers. Okay, students. If you are having any doubt about these questions, please you can ask to me. Is it clear, students? Is it clear, students? Anything you want to ask, please you can ask to me. Now we'll switch on to the long question answers. Now long question answers. First long question answer is on page number 147 of lesson 12, simple machines. First question is what are levers? What are levers? Describe the different kinds of levers. What are levers and what describe the different kinds of levers? First question, there's a long questions. Please write down the questions. What are levers? What are levers? Describe the different kinds of lever. What are levers? What are levers? What are levers? Describe the different kinds of lever. Now, lever is a rigid rod. Lever, it is a rigid rod. Please write down. Lever, it is a rigid rod or bar. Lever is a, write down. Lever, answer. Lever is a rigid rod. Lever is a rigid rod or bar that moves freely. Lever is a rigid rod. Please write down. Lever is a rigid rod or bar that moves freely. That moves freely around a fixed point. Around a fixed point. Around a fixed point called. Around a fixed point called the fulcrum. Around the fixed point called fulcrum. Lever is a rigid rod. Lever is a rigid rod or bar. Lever is a rigid rod or bar that moves freely. That moves freely around a fixed point. Around a fixed point called. Around a fixed point called the fulcrum. Around the fixed point. Around a fixed point called fulcrum. Called the fulcrum. It is used, it is used, it is used to lift the weight. 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 A lever consists of, a lever consists of, a lever consists of three parts. A lever consists of three parts. Lever consists of three parts. Fulcrum, load and effort. Fulcrum, comma, load and effort. Full stop. Depending on the position, please write down, depending on the position of the fulcrum, depending on the position of the fulcrum, comma, the load and the effort. Depending on the positions of the fulcrum, load and the effort. Okay, all the three positions of the fulcrum, position of the load and the effort, classified into, so levers are classified into, students, three categories. The levers are classified into three categories, students. Number one, it is a first class lever. Number two, second class lever. Number three, third class lever. Please note down. Now we'll study in details कि first class lever, what is first class lever, कि first class lever क्या है, then second class lever क्या है, then we'll go for the what is third class of lever into detail along with the diagram. Already in your book diagram is there and in the examples are also given. So student, first class lever, what is first class lever? See the diagram. Now in the first class lever, now students, the fulcrum, where it is middle, left side load and right side it is effort. Means first class lever, number one, load left side. Is it clear? In this rod is there, left hand side, your load is the center, fulcrum, fixed part and effort on the right hand side. In this fulcrum, the middle, the fulcrum is in the middle of between load and the effort. For example, scissor, example हो सकता है scissor. Number two, seesaw and crowbar. Scissor, seesaw and crowbar are the examples of first class lever. Scissors, seesaw, crowbar are the examples of first class levers. Fulcrum at the middle, load on the left hand side, load is on the left and right side, effort means the fulcrum is in between the load and the effort. Example, scissors and crowbar will go for this second class lever. The load is in between the fulcrum and the load क्या है? Now it is moved slightly on the right hand side. Now the load is in between the fulcrum and the effort. Effort और fulcrum के बीच में load is there. Load is there between the fulcrum and the effort. For example, nutcrackers. For example, nutcrackers bottle opener. When we are opening the bottles, especially the cold drinks, glass bottles of the cold drinks, when we are opening with the bottle opener, this is called the second class of lever. Is it clear, students? You can see the diagram, first class, second class. I shown the diagram. It is already in your book also. We'll go for the third class of lever. Effort in the middle. Effort is in the Now effort is in the middle. Load has moved little bit on the extreme and load उधर ही है, but effort वहीं पे रहा और effort load extreme right में चला गया. Effort is in the middle. Effort is in the middle between the fulcrum and the load. Between the load and the fulcrum, or the fulcrum and the load, the efforts are there. This is called the third class lever. Is it clear, student? And for example, stapler, a pair of tweezer. Stapler or the pair of the tweezer is an example of third class lever. Is it clear, students? So please, this is about the what are levers and describe the various types of different kinds of levers. Levers की हमने बात की है. मैंने आपको बताया स्टूडेंट फर्स्ट क्लास लीवर के बारे में, सेकंड क्लास लीवर के बारे में, थर्ड क्लास लीवर के बारे में डिटेल में. Now student, next question, next long question answer is, what is screw? Please note down, what is screw? ठीक है students. Next question है, what is a screw? What makes it better than nail? भाई screw क्या है and why it is to be considered better than nail? ठीक है student, question you might have understood. Then what is a screw? What makes it better than a nail? Answer for this question number 2. A screw is a kind, please write down. A screw is a kind of inclined plane. A screw is a, please note down. A screw, write down first line, answer of question number 2. A screw is a kind of, a screw is a, please write down, a screw is a kind of inclined plane. A screw is a kind of inclined plane. First line, inclined plane, wrapped around, W-R-A-P-P-E-D, wrapped around. Please write down, wrapped around, wrapped around, wrapped around. A screw is a kind of inclined plane wrapped around, wrapped around a cylinder, around a cylinder, full stop. Screws hold things, hold things, screws hold, screws hold things, screws hold things, screws hold things, screws hold things, screws Second question. Again, just a screw is a kind of inclined plane wrapped around cylinder, a cylinder wrapped around a cylinder. Screws hold things, screws hold things, please note down. Screws hold things together through a long. Screws hold things, screws hold things, screws hold things together through a long distance, with a strong grip, with a strong grip. due to more friction. With a strong grip due to more friction. Due to more friction. Full stop. Bigger screws are used. Bigger screws are used in screw jacks. Bigger screws are used in the screw jacks to lift cars and other heavy objects. Full stop. Revolving chairs and pen caps. Revolving chairs and pen caps. Revolving chairs and pen caps also have screws. Revolving chair and pen caps also have screw. Hence, they are better than nails. Hence, they are the better than the nails. Okay, students. This is about the question number 1 and 2. What we have done it today? We have completed today's short question answers of lesson 12 and 2 long question answers of lesson 12. Now, students, in the next class, we'll complete the remaining long question answers and followed by